Hi, I'm Hannah and welcome to my March TBR video. We're going to be finding out what is on my March TBR. So I'm filming this on February 16th, so we've still got a little bit of time until March, so I don't think I'm gonna make it all the way through my February TBR, which is in large part because I completely derailed myself by doing a reread of the entire Shatter Me series instead of sticking to my TBR, so there's still a few things that we're likely not gonna get through. We'll have to see. So I think for this TBR, there's already 12 books that I know definitely need to be on it or that I want to be on it. Those will be there, which means I think we're only going to do 8 draws from my number generator, just because I kind of want to keep it a little bit more concise and give myself the freedom to do other things without feeling guilty about this giant stack that's just going nowhere for the whole month. So a lot of these are sequels of series that I'm going to be doing or hopefully finishing in February. So then the sequel is in March. And then I have a couple of arcs as well. So obviously I don't have those physically. Well, you can have physical arcs. Arcs I have are ebooks though, so I'll just kind of talk about briefly what those look like. But mainly this stack is all physical books, and then we'll do draws for 8 other books. So we won't take any longer. So my very first pick for my March TBR is Twisted by Emily McIntyre. This is the 4th book in the Never After series. So far I think Hooked, which is number 1, is still my favorite. I just finished Wretched yesterday, and I did like it. I gave it 4 stars, but I don't think it's one that'll like go down in my literary memory or anything. So I'm looking forward to this one, which I believe is Aladdin. Yeah, it's a reimagining of Aladdin. So that's one of my, if not my top favorite animated Disney movie. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, number 2, it's time, is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, which now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna also include, there's a novella, can't remember the name of it. I'll pop it up on the screen, maybe over here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Something of the Vampire Queen, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, it's another novella that's not technically tied to the Crowns of Nyaxia, but people say to read before this book, I guess. So I'll be reading that also. And then Songbird and the Heart of Stone. I finally completed my reread of the previous 2 books in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, so I'm excited to be getting to this one, finally. My reread of The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King was kind of a slog, which I am bummed about, but you know, just wasn't expecting. So I'm hoping this is good. I know it's about Mish, and I love Mish, so that'll be that. And the other one too, which I could just look it up. It's called Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. So both of those will be on the list too. Next up, this is our 4th pick for my TBR, is A Reign of Rose. This is the final book in the Sacred Stones trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. It doesn't say that anywhere on here though. So, it says a stellar conclusion, the perfect ending to a sensational series. So yes, this is the last book in the Sacred Stones trilogy, which started with The Dawn of Onyx and then continues with A Promise of Peridot, I think. I have A Promise of Peridot on my February TBR, but I have not yet read it. So if I get through it, obviously this is next up. If I don't get through it, I guess I'll put that one instead of this one on my March TBR, but I'm hoping I get to it. So that's A Reign of Rose. Excited about that one. I really did like Dawn of Onyx. Next we have my reread. So I'm trying to do one Sarah J. Maas book a month for the month or the year of 2025. So this is next up, number 3 for March, our 3rd month, Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I'm very excited about this. This is another one where I have Throne of Glass still on my TBR to read for February. So I'm hoping I get through that. I probably will though. It's not like it's some huge hardship for me to read an SJM book. So this will be up and I'm excited about it. This is probably my least favorite book in the whole Throne of Glass series, which I still gave it 5 stars. So I don't know that that's really saying much, but I'm excited about it. So that's number 5. Next up, we have The Gilded Cage by Lynette Noni. I am obsessed with her writing, so I just read The Prison Healer. I finished it yesterday as of filming this, but in February. There were so many plot twists at the end that I did not see coming, and I'm not a great shot caller anyway when it comes to plot, so usually I'll be surprised even if everyone else is like, I saw this coming from page 2, and I'm going, you saw the what? When? Now? But this one did do a really good job. A lot of the book was like set up. I did end up giving it 4 stars and not 5 because I felt like it had a bit of a mushy middle and things were just a little bit slow. But from the way that it ended, this is stacked to be a really good read. So I'm excited about that. And that's book number 6. Next, I've got Savor It by Tara DeWitt. This one, I actually went to a signing, and so I have a signed copy from her, but she's a local author for me. So why was this one on? Oh, well, it's also blurred by Jessica Joyce, which I'm obsessed with Jessica Joyce. This is going to be my first Tara DeWitt book, but I have an arc of her book that's coming out in May that will be... It's not on my list to read this month. I'm hoping to read it in April, but I have heard that it's an interconnected standalone with this book. So I want to read this one first before that. So this is Savor It by Tara DeWitt. Next, I've got The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. So one of my goals is to read a book of the month book. My goal is really like at least one a month, hopefully more than that. So for this one, I have The Rom-Commers. This is also because I have an arc of Catherine Center's new book, which is The Love Haters, coming out. I think it comes out in May, and my goal is to read that one in April. So I read The Bodyguard, just finished that yesterday too. This one in March, and then The Love Haters in April. So that's kind of my plan. But I really love Catherine Center. This is another one where it is not a headache at all to have to read her writing. I love it so much. I might end up doing this one on audio. Not sure yet. So we'll see how that goes. But that is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. Next, this one is for a buddy read with Faye. This is the Fairy Loot edition. So if you don't recognize it, that's why. But this is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Aru. I have been so excited to read this one for so long. And this book is just like shut up pretty, you know? So I'm really stoked about that. Even the naked cover is freaking gorgeous. So very excited about that one. I hear really great things about this book. Excited for that. And then speaking of arcs, so I have 4. One's The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. I have not read a Sarah Penner book yet, but I do have, I think, almost all of them on my TBR. So, and I love the cover of this. I think it's so pretty. So that'll be one of my arcs. I've got Heart of the Sun by Mia Sheridan, and I'll throw that up here too. I have read only one Mia Sheridan book before, and that was Kyland, which I really, really liked. I gave it a 4-star, I think. Looking forward to that. I know kind of her quintessential book is Archer's Voice, which I have, but I have not read yet, so it will happen eventually. I have Wandering Wild, also by Lynette Noni. This, I believe, is a contemporary romance, though, which is a little bit of a departure, obviously, from the Prison Healer series, so I'm excited about that one, and I love this cover. And then I have It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. Annabelle Monaghan is like one of my comfort beach read authors. Every book that I read by her, I feel like I'm just being given a warm hug with like sun on my face, lounge chair in the sand. Like it is peak vibes. I would compare her to almost like a Catherine Center, maybe like Susan Mallory, what you would quintessentially call like women's fic, but we hate that term, but I still love Annabelle Monaghan. I highly recommend her if you're looking for a good beach read this summer. And I believe that is my complete list of books I've already planned to read. So here's my babies all together, looking a little disheveled. Okay, let's do our blind pick. So like I said, I've got 8, but remembered Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, so I have 9 books already picked. So wait, I lied. That math was terrible. I don't have 8 or 9. That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 physical books right here, but counting my arcs and Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, I have 13 books that I picked already. So I already said I was gonna do 8, so I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna do 8 spins for the blind draws. We will see what I get. So I currently have 687 books on my TBR. Again, I'm only like a little over halfway through February for this, so I still have time to bring that down. I'm really hoping I don't get Virgin River again. I just don't see myself getting to it, and I'm not that excited about it. Okay, our number is 160, so let's go see what that is. 160 is A Wilderness of Stars by Shay Earnshaw, which should be... Is that maybe it's a book of the month book, A Wilderness of Stars, because it should be right here if it wasn't. This was a book of the month book. This is A Wilderness of Stars by Shay Earnshaw, and it's from Book of the Month Young Adult, so it's a young adult book. I don't really know anything about this. Vega has a secret. She is the last astronomer. Vega is rescued by a girl named Cricket, who leads her to Noah, a boy marked by his own mysterious tattoos. Line between friends and protectors begins to blur. Interesting. Okay. I mean, this sounds good. I don't know how it's been on my shelf and I just haven't had any concept of it being there, but this is The Wilderness of Stars by Shea Ernshaw. I'm excited. It's a little different, kind of fun. Rolling for our next number. This is gonna be number 2. We got 526. 526 is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. So I'm gonna go grab that. So next one is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I've had these on my TBR forever also. This and then the sequel, These Twisted Bonds, are just sitting there camping out. So this is This is Blurbed by Carrie Ann Ryan, compared to SJM and JLA, blurbed by Stephanie Garber. Lots of good press around this, if nothing else. So I'm excited to see where this one goes. I have my friend Brie like raves about this series, so I'm excited. That's These Hollow Vows. Next number is 206. I'm hoping for some romance here because we've got a lot of fantasy. 206. Marvelous by Molly Greeley. Marvelous by Molly Greeley. It's enchanting, a piece of magic and a dazzling love story. This book broke my heart and put it back together again. Not gonna lie, this cover is not doing it for me. I'm not a big fan of like whatever this guy has going on there and whatever. So we'll see. A mesmerizing novel set in the French royal court of the Renaissance Queen Catherine de Medici. Oh, that recreates the touching and surprising true story behind the Beauty and the Beast legend from the acclaimed author of The Clergyman's Wife and The Heiress. Okay, so we've got a bit of historical fantasy. I could roll with that. This is a case of don't judge the book by its cover, I guess, because I hate the cover. So I'm interested to see how that one goes. So that was pick number 3. Spinning again. Fingers crossed for something contemporary. 176. These numbers are super close together. I feel like that always happens. 176. Oh no. Well, it is contemporary. It is not romance. It's The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. So this one's on my list because this is my husband's favorite book. He literally has a signed copy by Jonathan Franzen. Oh, do I do it? I feel like I have to for him. I don't want to read this at all. Look at all of these blurbs and like, look how many awards he's a finalist for. Something's wrong with me because I see like, look at all these things he won and I'm like, wow, no interest. Look at him on the back. He looks like so insufferable. I've thought that ever since he's mentioned as one of Gus's favorite authors in Beach Read. Well, we pulled it, so we're gonna try. That's The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. Okay, that's number 4. So we're spinning for book number 5 on the blind TBR. 268. All of these are so close together. Okay, let's see. Out of 687 books, you would think that they would be a little bit more spaced, but that's okay. I already forgot what the number was. 268. The Emotionally Intelligent Team. Oh, that's a nonfiction. We're already like not doing too hot on the whole Franzen thing. It's what we picked is what we picked. So let me go get that. This is The Emotionally Intelligent Team, Understanding and Developing the Behaviors of Success. In theory, this is a good book for me to read for work. I can probably find it on audio. I don't think in like audio format it'll be too painful. It's not a very big book. It's pretty skinny. It's signed. That's kind of cool. 200 pages about, but it's nonfiction, so 200 pages can be long for nonfiction. I'll probably do that on audio. I need to not have such a bad attitude. These are books that I kept because I wanted to read them for a reason. So, okay, that's book number 6 from my blind draws. So now we're gonna do book number 5. If this doesn't go my way, I might have to revolt. Still super close together. Next is 311. We're crossing our fingers for some fluffy romance. Be good to us, 311. Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. That's one of my newer books. I'm trying to see it on my wall. It's pretty short though. This is Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. It was a monthly Barnes & Noble pick. It really is just a little baby novella though. It's like 100 pages, a little sneak peek of Swordheart. Yeah, just a teensy little novella. Should be interesting. I think it's a reimagining of Sleeping Beauty, so that should be interesting. I got it. Same thing. I got this for a reason. Me not wanting to read it right now exactly is the reason that we do these spins, so that I can get out of my own way about reading certain books that I obviously was excited enough to purchase. So that's Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. That was book 6. So now we're going to spin for book 7. Okay, a little more distant. We got 492. So let's go see. Maybe we should not cross our fingers for a romance because that hasn't gone well for me so far. Okay, so that one is Hot House Flower, which I think is in the middle of a series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So let me look up a reading order for that. So Addicted to You is the first one. So let me go grab that one. Here's the first one. I've heard really good things about this series from everybody that's read it. I don't know why I've never gotten into it, but this is the first one, Addicted to You, and it is contemporary and romance, although I've also heard it's kind of like trauma porn adjacent, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, now we're gonna do our last spin. This has not been like the best in terms of random choices for me, so hopefully this last book knocks all of our socks off. Specifically mine, since I'm the one that has to read all these. Numbers 330, Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. I have only read one Sophie Lark book before this, and it was Grimstone, and it was terrible. So, but I didn't think the writing was bad necessarily. I just felt the story was atrocious. So I'm excited about this one. This is a Mafia University, which I hear great things about, so that'll be fun. Kingmakers Year 1. Are the rest of these just called Year 2, Year 3? Yeah, cool. Okay, well that'll be interesting, something kind of different. So I'm excited about this one. So that's Kingmakers by Sophie Lark. Okay, so as a recap, our books for this month are going to be Heavenly Bodies, The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center, A Wilderness of Stars by Shay Earnshaw, Marvelous by Molly Greeley, The Emotionally Intelligent Team by Marcia Hughes, The Songbird, My Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent, A Reign of Rose by Kate Golden, Savor It by Tara DeWitt, The Gilded Cage by Linda Noni, Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, Kingmakers by Sophie Lark, Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher, The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen, Twisted by Emily McIntyre, and These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I'm not sure I can hold all these at once. Okay, well, that's my TBR for March. Pray for me. In addition to all of the other arcs that we have as well. So in addition to all of these, we're also reading 4 arcs that are The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner, Heart of the Sun by Mia Sheridan, Wandering Wild by Lynette Noni, and It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monahan. So picture those as part of the stack too. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you want to see more, please feel free to like and subscribe. I know I'm just a baby booktuber, but I have so much fun doing these videos and I would love to connect with you. And then go ahead and drop in the comments your favorite emoji and what you're thinking of reading in March. And we can chat. If you've read any of these before, tell me your thoughts. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you go out and have a great day.